And protesters in downtown Tampa today loudly challenged a new Florida law changing how and when people in the state can vote and how they can sign other people up to vote, too. The legislature passed the law last year, but two U.S. Democratic senators held a hearing today arguing the law is racist and will suppress the vote. Jeff Butera covered all of today's events and joins us live from downtown Tampa. So, Jeff, what's happening there?
Well, Linda, today was in part a show. Protests here in front of the courthouse, a hearing inside of the courthouse, and news conferences in both places. But let's focus on the two major changes stemming from this law and the impact that both sides think it will have. One, House Bill 1355 shrinks early voting in Florida from 14 days down to 8 days, including eliminating Sunday voting.
Legislated voter suppression.
Opponents of the law say this is an attempt to limit minorities voting because they vote on Sundays in larger numbers.
I mean, there's no question that they're Jim Crow-esque. They're Jim Crow again.
Early voting on Sundays is actually the day that they were least likely to go to the polls.
Backers of the law, though, say fewer early voting days saves counties money. They have to operate less, while still allowing for some early voting.
Hey, ho, ho!
The second major change bringing these protesters out, House Bill 1355 restricts groups registering new voters and fines them as much as $1,000 for wrong information.
It just doesn't make sense.
Opponents say this is a Republican tactic to stop groups from registering new voters, particularly minorities who tend to vote Democrat.
I am ultimately ashamed of these actions.
Backers, though, say the restrictions and the fines are only an attempt to prevent voter fraud.
If you're a voter and you're watching this, your local elections officials want you to register to vote. We want you to cast a ballot, and we want that ballot to count.
Now, Florida Senator Bill Nelson and Illinois Senator Dick Durbin made this hearing happen, part of the Senate Judiciary Committee. They don't think that Florida will back off this law on its own. They'd like the federal courts to step in. Governor Scott was asked to come today. He did not come. In fact, there was only one person at the hearing that was there to support the bill and talk about why it is a good thing in their mind. I did call the representative who introduced this bill, Dennis Baxley, to try to ask him about it. He said he would not talk because of pending litigation surrounding the new law. Live in Tampa, I'm Jeff Butera, ABC Action News.